Hi, welcome back to another episode of Unboxing TV. It's been a while since the final episode of Game of Thrones is aired, and whatever your thoughts are on that episode, whether it was good or bad, doesn't really matter this episode because we've got a treat for you. We spent that time finishing our Game of Thrones whiskey collection, and today, we're doing House Baratheon. So let's get into it. So first, a little backstory for the uninitiated. King Robert Baratheon of the House Baratheon, most famously known for owning the Iron Throne at the start of the whole story, Season 1, he was king. And he's also famous for dying by boar, so he lost the throne before the end of the season was up. Anyway, this bottle is a Royal Lochnagar that's been aged 12 years, and apart from the unboxing, we're just going to talk a bit about why they chose this specific brand of whiskey to represent House Baratheon, right? So once again, we'll just start from the top and then we'll work our way down, and we'll just see the detailing of the packaging and see how good it is, alright? So here we go. Alright, so as you can see in the top, you have your engraved Game of Thrones, this metal Game of Thrones engraved into the cap thing. It's nice. It's on all of the bottles. And you've got Game of Thrones logo again, so it shows you limited edition. And you have the stag sigil, which is the house sigil of House Baratheon. Right, so I like how there's the detail in the stag is remained consistent throughout all the other bottles that we've reviewed so far. So yeah, excellent work. Great props to the people who designed this, but I can't help but feel that it's a bit empty. There's a lot of space at the sides, you see, like over here. But I guess that is just it's a problem with the logo itself. It's not really a problem with the design. So on the whole, I really love the stag design, and I love that the people who designed the box put in a lot of effort and time to sort of get the detail of the stags and everything. Alright, so moving down, we have House Baratheon, and their house motto or words is "Ours is the Fury." Yep. Shows you this is a Royal Lochnagar. It's been aged 12 years, and it's a 40% volume with 700 milliliters. Right. So basically, all this is on all of the other bottles. It's really nice. It's sort of like a risen textured layer. So I really like it. Gold and everything. It's really regal. I think it fits House Baratheon. Right. Over the back, we have some words that details House Baratheon and what they're famous for, and some details on the distillery itself, Lochnagar, and why they chose this particular brand to represent House Baratheon. Right? Here you have your standard map of Westeros. On the side you have the other houses that are represented by the whiskies, and you have the other distilleries that they chose to represent these houses. Okay, so nothing much down here. Right, so going into the backstory of the distillery, basically Royal Lochnagar, back then it was known as Lochnagar. It's started in sometime around the 1800s, and they've had a bad reputation for getting their distilleries burnt down. So they built one distillery, and that burned down under mysterious circumstances. So they built a second one, and that burned down as well under mysterious circumstances. So they built a third one, and they called it New Lochnagar. At the time they didn't have the royal in the name, and it was kind of fortunate for them because they built it somewhere near Queen Victoria's residences, one of her summer homes, I think. And basically what happened is that while Queen Victoria was staying at one of these summer residences, she basically paid a visit to the Lochnagar distillery, and basically what she did was gave them a royal warrant of how their whiskey tasted and everything. So basically gave them a royal warrant to produce whiskey. Yeah, so after that, the creators of the Lochnagar distillery were like, oh, we've got a royal warrant and all, and they all got all up in it, and well, then they added royal to the name, Royal Lochnagar. So I believe why they chose this for to represent House Baratheon, because when you think of House Baratheon, you sort of think of them as the rulers of Westeros, or the rightful rulers of Season 1, because they kind of owned, they had Robert Baratheon on the throne. So yeah, there's a bit of, I think, this regal quality to the name of Royal Lochnagar. That's why they chose it for House Baratheon, which I can see, although it's a bit of a flimsy connection there. Yeah. Anyway, let's just open it up and see what else is inside. Alright. Alright, so once again, you have your matching sigil, Stag, House Baratheon sigil, Game of Thrones, House Baratheon, and it tells you what kind of whiskey it is, and that it has been aged 12 years. Alright, nothing much. At the back, they show you Royal Lochnagar, and yeah, I guess that's about it. One thing though, I wish that they had aligned, you see, I'm not sure if you can see it, but this Game of Thrones kind of cap thing that covers the top, it's not really aligned to the front, so yeah, it's kind of like a pet peeve if you have OCD, you like everything to be aligned, but yeah, wish they could have done that better, because like seeing how much effort they put into the design and everything, I think it would have been pretty simple to sort of like align it as well, but that's just me being nitpicky, alright? So on the whole, I think this is pretty good design, pretty good marketing on part of Game of Thrones and Royal Lochnagar. Yeah. So as for taste wise, I've drank Lochnagar before, and it has this sort of like citrusy taste to it. It's definitely on the higher end of the Game of Thrones whiskey set. I think this costs about 120 Singapore dollars. So I think this is on par for the most expensive Game of Thrones whiskey, on par with the Tyrell House Tyrell, yeah, which kind of makes sense because they're both kind of like more classy houses. So yeah, so they get a more expensive end of the set. Yeah, and for the taste of it, it's a bit citrusy. There's a bit of fruit flavor to it. It's a bit of a salty taste, for what I can remember, but I guess, like, you know, everyone's taste and preferences in whiskey is a bit different, so you might have to go and like try this for yourself to see whether you like it or not. I can't really tell you what you would like or not with this. So yeah, just go out there and get this bottle if you can, if you like drinking whiskey. Yeah. Alright, that's it for this episode of Unboxing TV. Be sure to like and subscribe if you enjoyed this episode, and leave a comment down below telling us what you would like us to unbox next. And also, you know, if you need to de-stress about final season of Game of Thrones, you can always come and tell us or rant to us like how much you loved it or how much you hated it, or like what you think you thought you could have changed or whatever. Yeah, just share it out in the comments. We'll see you in the next video. Hope you enjoyed this one, and thank you very much.